What up? It's Golden Spaces, an Odyssey original podcast with Nat, Justin, and Kariemah. It's been a minute since it's been the three of us. I'm sorry to be joining for a loss, but do not fret, Zeb Nation. Getting to the 8 was always a long shot. I know it looked like it was good and we were almost there, but it was always a long shot. So it is what it is. The Warriors will either be 9 or 10, and yes, they can still be 9. But they fell short tonight to the Pelicans. Really, I think that second quarter is what did them in.
Yes, it did. Big
For
time.
sure.
Yeah. Just too many turnovers. And the Pelicans definitely capitalized off that. They're one of the best road teams in the league. I mean, the Warriors are a top road team too, but they're also one of the best defending 3-point teams in the league. So
are we. We just couldn't do that as well as they did.
I'm sorry. I'm like turning my head and looking because I got this Kings Suns game on. It's 96-93 Kings. But the Suns were down a lot and got back in the game. So.
And there's a lot of time still left. So.
Yeah. If you want the Warriors to at least have one home game, well, that may be all they have. But if you think it's still best for them to have the home game for the play-in, then you want the Suns to win tonight. Justin, do we still want them to have home game for the play-in?
I don't know at this point.
Well, does it depend on
a different team? I mean, yeah, I think you do want the home game just from a travel standpoint, like not necessarily like playing in the other team's arena, but like everything leading up to that, you want them to be as fresh as possible, I'd say. And they're going to close out the season at home anyway, so just knowing you're going to play at home for that first playing game so you don't have to travel anytime soon would be the best course of action. I don't think it matters on who they play either.
So, I mean, we can break down the game in a second, but I actually want to.
It's 98-96.
Yeah.
5:44.
A crazy bucket he just scored. So there's two different kinds of play-in scenarios that could work out, Justin and Kariemah. So tell me which one you prefer. If the Suns lose tonight, then you also want them to lose their next game versus the Wolves. And the Wolves will be trying to win that game because they're going to want to try to hold on to the 2 seed or get the 1 in the hopes that OKC might lose that game and stay above Denver. So if the Suns lose tonight and lose the next game, I believe, Justin, they drop to 9.
The Suns.
Because that would give them 35 losses.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe they dropped to 9. The Lakers, if the Suns lose tonight, the Pelicans likely have nothing to play for in the next game. So they probably rest their guys. So the Lakers would probably go into New Orleans and win that game. So if they do that, I believe that would give the Lakers the 8th spot. I don't know. I between them and the Kings, they would be 7 and 8. I don't know who would be who. So would you prefer a matchup like that with the Kings and the Lakers being 7 and 8 with the hopes that LA beats the Kings? And so then the Kings are who, if for some reason, I mean, not for some reason, the Warriors hoping they can beat the Suns and then have to play the Kings second and beat them. Or would you prefer the Lakers drop to 10 and the Warriors have them at home as the 9 and the Lakers as the 10? And then if they beat the Lakers, they then go on and have to play either Phoenix or likely the Kings.
That's tough.
It is, right? Like at first I thought I wanted one way, but now I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it is actually better if the Suns lose the next 2 games.
Yeah, I think the Lakers are the most dangerous team out of those three other teams. So I think getting the path where you play the other two is probably better. I know I just made the comments about them staying at home, but if the home game is only just to play the Lakers, when you can have an opportunity to play the fragile Suns and the injured Kings, I think I will actually flip what I said and say play those two teams over the Lakers.
Yeah, most
Because we think the
definitely.
Lakers would probably beat the Kings. I think the Kings might have home court advantage. I'm not sure, but I think the Lakers likely would beat the Kings, or you don't know. Haven't the Kings
Yeah,
played the
the
Wild
Kings,
before?
the Kings have kind of dominated the Lakers. Like I don't think AD has ever beaten Sabonis in a game.
Right.
So that's they got that weird little streak going right there. So that would actually be
But Herter would be
fun
out
game.
and Monk would be out.
That doesn't seem to matter right now, them going up against the Suns.
Yeah, but the Suns are not the Lakers.
Yeah,
True, but I mean, they still have KD and Booker and
The
that
Suns are not the
that
Lakers.
that
The
guy
Suns
named
the
Beal.
Suns are a much more fragile team than the Lakers. The Lakers lost their last couple of games because AD was out, but like the Suns are just a very shaky team. It's two different
Mhm.
things.
Well, AD is pretty much out against the Kings as well, since Sabonis takes
since he
care
can't
of
beat Sabonis.
him.
But yeah, I think even still, I would rather play in Phoenix that first game, try to beat them, and then you're likely playing in Sacramento. And that's.
That's a lot of drama. Steph versus KD to knock each other out.
Either way you slice it, Steph versus LeBron to knock each other out.
It is. They're
Um,
both
I mean, there
I'm
was a
still
path
mad about it.
to. I know.
I mean, yeah, I mean again, nothing was like look, there's a path to this being very advantageous for the Warriors if they just win their two play-in games. And that is
Someone other than Denver gets the 1 seed.
well, yeah, because like once I saw that, I was actually happy about Denver not getting the 1 seed. Cause like if the Warriors do fall into the 9-10, the highest they can be is 8 if they win their two playing games. And that means you're not in the same side of the bracket as Denver.
Right.
And
That's
that's a
true.
positive.
That is a
Like
positive.
they're just not on the same bracket as them.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, I was talking this through with Kariemah earlier, and so she was getting all nervous because she's like, "Oh, you're trying to like, the gods," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm just saying the pros and cons of each situation. I always want the Warriors to win, but the tricky situation with the Warriors winning and getting 8 is that you want them to win the game, but then they might get 7. And so you could end up, depending on where Denver lands, still playing them first round if they end up as the 2 seed. You definitely see them in the second round if you won your series because they'd be the 3 seed, right? So, but the 8th spot guarantees that you don't see them, right away.
Right. I mean, is this still up for grabs?
What?
The first seed? Or is Denver officially out of the running? I
No,
know they're tied.
any of them can get it, but
Right.
OKC has the best chance of getting it because the Mavs have nothing to play for. So they're likely going to rest their guys. So OKC just has to beat the Mavs. The Timberwolves would have the hardest game because they'll be playing the Suns, but they'll be at home. And we know the Suns are shaky. And then Denver is playing Memphis, I think, which is not a tough matchup, but they would need one of those teams to lose to get it back.
Oh, okay. Those teams both have the tiebreaker over Denver.
Yes.
Gotcha. And who has that tiebreaker between Minnesota and OKC?
OKC. Had. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Minnesota had it.
No.
But
if you look right now, OKC's first. They all have the same exact record. OKC's first, Minnesota second, Denver's third.
Okay.
I just thought that the Timberwolves had the tiebreak over OKC, but I guess not. Okay.
Yeah, so I think in that scenario, it is best for them to get eighth. But you got to win two.
Right, you got to win too. It's like, it's not like if they ended up in the eighth spot, you wouldn't be saying try to lose the first game to get eighth. You'd still be
Right.
wanting them to win. But I'm just saying there's a way that this works out very advantageous for the Warriors if they can win their 2 play-in games.
Mm-hmm. Hey, they've been better on the road than at home this season. They would play 2 road games. Again, hopefully against the 2 lesser teams out of the 3, in my opinion, which is the Suns and the Kings. Take care of business against them, and you're right in there in the mix. And I mean, I think.
And again,
OKC is tough.
that the Lakers beat the Kings.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, that is presuming that AD gets over the hump and takes the boogeyman out.
And they'd have to do it in, I think, Sacramento. Let me see who owns that tiebreaker between the Kings and the Lakers. But the Lakers just haven't beat the Kings at all, so it has to be the Kings, right?
Yeah,
I would go with that. Sounds like a safe bet.
I really honestly wanted the Warriors to win tonight, though, because CJ McCollum was talking too much shit.
Way too much.
A notification just popped up for me with the how CJ McCollum made 8 threes. I'm just like, nah, bro. I cannot stand CJ McCollum.
I mean, and he was doing a lot of talking.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
I mean, if they end up having to see Denver in the first round.
Yeah, they out of there in the first round no matter who they see.
No, you think so?
Yeah. And he's going to be one of the reasons why. It's okay, though.
You think if it was OKC or the Wolves, they win over the Pelicans?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep. I think CJ will be in a straight jacket and he can't guard. So that's one of the reasons why they would get spanked.
4-point game, 107-103 Kings. I think I might have talked myself out of wanting the Suns to win this game. See how it's good to talk through these things?
Yeah, the Suns are not looking. They're not looking good. I mean, they
don't look like a formidable team. We know they're not going anywhere. So it's like, might as well just get knocked out.
Wacky stuff happens when we play the Suns, though. But I mean, the last time we played them, we got it done. Steph, hit that shot or whatever. But
it's not going to be easy. By no means do I think it's easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Who would you prefer to play?
I mean, I guess wacky stuff happens when they play all 3 of these teams. We had 2 last second or late game losses to the Kings.
And
it's
the
always
Pelicans
weird.
Can just do something weird, like still just beat the Lakers anyway, because I don't know, sometimes like role guys like to step up, right? It's just like, cause remember we were talking and you were like, Denver's winning out, and I'm just like, I don't know, the Spurs might beat them. Me and Kariemah were talking about it today.
I forgot Wemby was an alien.
And lo and behold, I was like, oh, snap.
And teams like to play spoiler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opposing teams like to play spoiler.
Well, yeah. I mean, at this point, we know they in. So it's just like, let the chips fall.
By the way, they can rest. Like, because
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, you going to be.
They're like, because unless.
Like, you just going to be in the play-in. So you can't move anywhere.
The only reason not to rest them for Utah is if the Suns win this game. Like, if you're just like thinking about it, because if the Suns lose this game, it's like, or if they just follow the reports, like if you hear the Pels are resting all of their guys, there's literally no, like the Lakers going to win that game.
Yeah.
They're going to win that game. So you might as well just rest for Utah and accept the 10th spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Rest them for Utah and just be ready for the playing game.
I think they probably should do that anyway. No matter what the results of these other games are. I mean, like, depending on who you rest, like, you probably still can beat Utah, to be honest. But your main, whoever you need to rest is going to be ready for the play-in.
Playing Tuesday, right?
I have no clue.
I believe it starts on Tuesday.
Tie game.
Greg,
107. 33 seconds.
I don't know which one I prefer. Look, it's just what it is. But we know at this point, the Warriors will have to win 2 games, most likely. Not most likely, they will.
Yeah, I was like,
so the Warriors will have to win 2 games to make the playoffs. So, the Kings did not score, and the Suns have the ball right now. They can't eat the whole clock, though, so the Kings can still get it back if they can play defense here. 3-point shot.
Okay, Tuesday to Friday is the play-in.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Nurk gets fouled by Sabonis, so he's going to the line. Suns have a chance to take the lead here.
Okay.
Yeah, and Steph tweaks his ankle.
He tweaked his ankle tonight?
Yep.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
And he powered through. He stayed out there, and he was gimpy, but he played through it, still hit some shots.
I mean, he's used to playing through ankles, but that was also probably adrenaline, so it'll feel worse. So, what's today? Today is what day? Friday?
Friday.
So Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, rest them the 3 days. Suns are up by 1 point. The Kings can still win this game. They better win this game. I don't know. I really don't know who I want. I just don't want to play the Lakers. I just don't want to play them.
Yeah, I agree. But we're locked in. They're going to rest.
Yeah.
Kerr has already said he's going to rest.
Yes. That they are all resting.
Like I said, it don't really matter at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
You're locked into the 9-10, so. They're going to be resting. Meanwhile, these other teams will be tired from battling it out.
Hey. And then you take care of business, get in the playoffs, and then anything can happen. I mean, especially if Denver's not who you see in the first round. I think they can beat anybody else. I mean, I think they can beat Denver, but I think they have a much better chance of beating all the other teams. I think against Denver is more of a puncher's chance. Everything has to go absolutely right. Against OKC, they have their advantages. Against Minnesota, they have their advantages. And they would have the best player in the series in either series. So I would think, they would have a good chance to beat them. Whereas sorry about that, but that was super random. But whereas against Denver, Jokic had his way with the Warriors. So that would be a little tougher.
With everyone.
Right. He's pretty good. So yeah.
But the Warriors were in 3 of the 4 games. There's only 1 game that Denver just beat them. One of them they should have won, and the other 2 the Warriors were in missing multiple key guys.
And the one that they should have won, they sat JK for
right. So I
don't
really think it's this big disparity. I don't, despite the fact that they didn't win at all, and it's also not when Steve Kerr was playing the rotations he should be playing. So
that's true.
So much has changed about the team since those games that it's very hard to give a lot of credence to it.
That's very true. That's very true.
Guess what happened?
A key advantage the Warriors had, I think, in the regular season versus Denver was their bench is so much better. Whereas in the playoffs, the bench just kind of shrinks a little bit. So that might be, a little negated in the Warriors' No, not in the
Oh,
Warriors'
De'Aaron
favor.
Fox lost the ball.
Yeah, the Suns won.
Well, there you go. There you
So
go.
yeah, so 10th pretty much. Well, it depends on the Lakers, I guess,
It
but I
depends
mean, it
on the
don't really matter.
Lakers. If the Lakers lose, then Warriors will have a home game at home. Well, no, they would have to beat Utah. But if he's resting everybody, they're probably not going to beat Utah. You think they still may? Who are they playing? They're going to rest all the old guys. Kuminga can't play because of this tailbone.
They say he's out.
No,
well, they would probably rest him anyway because
right.
Yeah.
Steph, when he had the tailbone, missed 5 games last time, and the report is that Kuminga is in a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see him being in less pain by Sunday that you're going to be like, let's play him.
Right. So
Lester
are they playing with? Probably not.
They got to play 8 guys. I mean, like
right. Look, somebody got to still play.
Yeah, somebody got to still play.
GP2 will be out, especially with the calf strain.
Look at the roster.
Wiggs will probably play. I think everybody except the guys who are 30 and up, which is just the 3, CB3, Gary, and JK. I think everybody else will play. I think that could be enough to win, honestly.
We'll be hoping the Dubs get the dub regardless, because the Suns won, so now the Pels have to play a for real game.
Right.
They can't lose, or they lose, or the Suns get the 6.
Right.
And here's the thing: there's if the Suns somehow beat the Pelicans. If the Lakers somehow beat the Pelicans at home, and if the Suns can beat the Timberwolves, the Suns go to 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Suns can still get to 6. Okay, so let's see here, because the Suns, all right, so right now the Suns are still 1 game back. They're still 1 game back. Let me see if this is updated.
So in that case, that would put Pelicans, Kings, Lakers, and Warriors with a chance that you see New Orleans again to get the 8th spot if they lose to the Kings, theoretically.
So
okay.
This is so right now we're pretty much the 10th spot. We're not making any moves at this point.
No, you can't be the 9th. You really can't say that. It just depends on what happens if the Lakers lose. If the Lakers lose their next game, Warriors are 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a strong chance
regardless
and Warriors win. So if the Lakers lose and the Warriors win, because the Warriors own the tiebreaker.
Right. Okay.
So the Warriors can still be 9th.
So the 9th. So is it the 9th and 10th they play each other and then they play the winner of 7 and 8?
The loser.
The loser of 7, 8. That's what I meant. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So either way,
the Pelicans,
there's a chance we play the Lakers. Great.
It just depends. So the Pelicans are, so if they for some reason lose, they would go to 49 and 33. But the Suns also have to win. So they would have to, the Pelicans need to lose and the Suns have to win. And the Suns are playing the Timberwolves. So that won't be an easy game for them. So
it could go either way for both teams, I think.
Yeah. So because if it ends in a tie break, if it ends with them having the same record, the Suns own the tiebreaker over the Pelicans. But right now, the Pelicans control their own destiny because they're 1 game ahead. So if they just win, they get the 6th spot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do you think of that matchup between the Pelicans and the Lakers? Because they won't have Brandon Ingram back, or will they? They will.
I think they will.
Game.
I think they will, which could potentially make things a little bit weird because like they've been playing without him for a little bit. Who knows how AD is going to look if he's back? Like, I think the Pelicans have a better like overall team, but like in a win in like a single game situation, like LeBron is just he has not lost many of if any of those. So I don't think he's lost a single game 7. He obviously hasn't lost in the play-in because he's only been in once and they beat the Warriors. It's just hard to beat him in a one game situation. So I'll
toss up for you.
Toss up. Yeah.
They will have home court. Lakers on the road. So because I think if the Lakers win, they would be 8th. I think they would be 8th. Would they be? They'd go to 47 and 35.
I think the Kings.
No, they would be 9th still because the Suns. Were we going to say the Kings what?
No.
Because we all had the same record.
They would be 8th.
They would be 8th. Yeah, because the Suns would go to 6th. The Pelicans would drop down to 7th. Oh, yeah, them and the King. Oh, no, the Kings lost tonight.
Right. So the Kings can only finish at 46 wins. And the Lakers can finish at 47 wins. So, like, if the Lakers win, they would get 8th. And they would likely be playing the Pelicans in the play-in instead of the Suns.
So right now, it's Kings Warriors as the play-in. Right now. Do you like that? For that first game?
Warriors. Yeah. Kings is easy work with no Monk. Monk is really the guy who like puts the Kings over the top against the Warriors. He always kills the Warriors.
I know, he goes crazy.
So
the Kings must be sick to have lost that game. Now. And the Warriors must be sick because the Kings lost like they needed them to lose. If they would have just won it tonight.
Yeah, we need to talk about the game. But
let's talk about the game because they threw away the game in the second quarter. Just crazy turnovers, it's like
bozo turnovers.
Yeah, just throwing the ball away. It wasn't even all stuff. I mean, some of it was stuff.
He had 5.
Were doing like why
5 of the 10. 50%.
Why was Andrew Wiggins just allowing Zion to pick his pocket like constantly? Like Zion is not even that guy.
He's not.
No.
I think he might have been using that to his advantage. I think guys don't expect him to go for the ball.
But they made him feel like he was that guy.
Yep.
Because they were literally like this. Here you go. Take this from me. Yeah. You got it. And then what is also annoying is that you're playing against a scrappy type of team. Head on a swivel. Why don't you thinking, oh, you're free because you see this guy? There's someone right behind you ready to poke that ball out.
Right.
And they did that multiple times. And that is so annoying to me. Like, you have to know that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're trying to get on this fast.
Anyone telling you though, like when Steph is over there on the side, like why isn't anyone calling him out? Like I just don't understand. I mean, he needs to have more awareness. I'm not like
that too
away from him.
No, both. No one's ever yelling like behind you. Like, I don't know. I'm yelling it. He can't hear me, but I'm yelling it as it's happening. It's just like, come on.
Look.
And even late, that turnover when he tweaked his ankle, he literally stops and you see a grimace on his face, yet Draymond is still standing there like,
all right,
go to him.
Well, I don't know if there's any point in breaking down this game. It is what it is. This happened because the Warriors are supposed to get the 8th seed. That's my theory.
Hey, I'll take it.
All right.
Is it just like Denver losing tonight? Because I'm just like, if Denver's 1, you don't want 8, so you need to get 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, if Denver's going to be 3,
Right. I mean, I think
Denver's going to be 2 or 3. You want the 8th spot.
right. I agree. It
So,
was always about avoiding the first round matchup with Denver. Not all. I think Nat always said it was a chance that they could not be won, but most of us felt like Denver was kind of locked to get the
Yeah.
1. So it was always like get up to the 8 at least, so you can get in the 7. And now we see it's probable that they will not be the number 1. So now it's like shit, get the 8 then. Like
Just get in. Look,
just
really,
get in. But
just
like
get in.
when you get in,
if you didn't want your first
avoid
round to be Denver, you really
Yeah.
didn't
No.
want that to be Denver.
Very true. Very true.
So yeah, just get in, but get in with the path of least resistance once
Yeah.
you in there.
Yeah. But I'm still pissed that we lost this game.
For sure.
Especially with it wasn't just CJ that was talking. Like
The Pelicans always
multiple
talk.
folks were talking, and it was just like, really, guys?
They haven't
There's
won.
a little bit of bad blood between those
Oh yeah.
2 teams. I mean, there's bad blood between Chris Paul and the Pelicans for sure, but there's we had the thing last year where Draymond was calling everybody on their team the P word. He tackled Herb Jones in that game, and the Warriors came back and won. So,
well, they about to lose to Denver anyway. I'm gonna go with the Pelicans winning at home.
yeah.
Yeah, I do see them beating the Lakers. So, aren't they playing the Lakers next?
The Pelicans, yes.
Yeah, I think the Pelicans are going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if
we
they're
never
shooting
know
like they were shooting tonight.
The Spurs beat the Nuggets, so
I'm saying we just got to let it happen how it happens, and then just get ready. That's why I said just rest your guys. There's no point in trying to win this last game in some attempt to get the 9 seed, as if it makes that much of a difference. Like clearly,
the only difference it makes is home court.
Right. I'm saying like that home court, the travel difference, but it's like I just think it don't make that much of a difference for you to waste energy on that game, you know.
No, I agree.
Yeah. And if they happen to win it, they happen to win it. And it's
right.
All the young guys were out there playing.
The Warriors going to end up in 9th anyway. But that would mean that they're playing the Lakers if they do.
Hey, just hit 26 threes again.
Or 27.
Or 27.
Because I think the Kings got an easy game next game. Yeah, they got the Trailblazers. I mean, if they lose to them. They might want to rest, though, De'Aaron Fox, because he hurt his ankle. But I don't see them. I think they're going to want home court badly.
Yeah.
I think they're going to want home court badly. So 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So they're 45 and 36 as well, too. So there's a chance, though. Like if some reason the Trailblazers come and decide to play spoiler and the Warriors win, that's the thing. It can still.
You can go any which way.
Yeah.
Just rest and be ready for it. Don't matter for whoever you play.
I don't know.
And wherever.
So it does look like the Lakers have the tiebreak over the Kings, and I don't understand how. So, Greg, if you could try to find out why for us, I'd appreciate that.
Why does it look like that?
Because right now the Lakers are 8th and the Kings are 9th.
Huh.
Does it have something to do with the division?
No, because the Kings have the division.
Oh no, it's not. This is wrong. The Kings actually, it hasn't been updated, but the Kings actually have one more loss than the Lakers now.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
It's just showing the wrong thing. It's just showing the wrong thing.
Right. So the Kings are 45 and 36.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. We're just assuming the Lakers are going to lose their last game and the Kings are going to win their last game, which ultimately flips them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And what do you think? You think the Suns have a chance to go into Mini and win that game?
Yeah, they got a
There's
chance.
always a chance.
They got star power. Like any one of those
We
series,
just do not know how this last day is going to be. I feel like
it can go
for the
any
last
which
several
way.
years, it's been like this.
I wouldn't even be surprised if Portland beat the Kings. Like
I
we've been
mean,
saying
they
all
played
season.
us tough.
So I'm saying Portland sucks, but like we've been saying all season, they be in the game with these teams. Like, so who knows?
I mean, because that's another option too, right? That's another option. It's another option that the Lakers win, but the Kings lose and still give the Warriors 9th.
It's another option. The Trailblazers against the Kings this season, they're 1-1 against the Kings, and the loss was in overtime. So they have shown they're capable of beating the Kings.
Okay. So we're just going to root for all the things that make it advantageous for the Warriors on Sunday.
Exactly.
So on Sunday, we will be rooting for the Kings to lose. That's only when we know for a fact is advantageous to the Warriors. Do we want the Lakers to win, or do we want we want the Lakers to beat the Pelicans? It seems like.
Yeah, we just want to play the Kings. Yeah. We want the Lakers out of the 9-10 so we can get an easier matchup. It's not necessarily about avoiding the Lakers, it's more so about wanting the Kings or wanting the Suns. And then we are going to assume
if the Kings are at 8, I'm sorry, if the Lakers are at 8, but a loss to the Pelicans doesn't mean they drop to 7. They still need the Suns to win. So what do we want? Like if the Lakers are at 8 and they're not in the 9-10, right? Who do we want as 7th? Pelicans or Suns? I did a poll about that today. Who would you rather play?
Well,
you're assuming
the Pelicans are shooting.
You're assuming that the Lakers would beat both of those teams,
right? Because
the play-in starts.
I think
I'm saying if the Lakers were to get the 8, meaning that they beat the Pelicans,
right?
In this
I
final
would want them to play the Suns because I think they would beat the Suns. So you would have to then beat the Suns,
right?
Rather than them playing the Pelicans, losing, and then now you got to play the Lakers in LA for the last playoff spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we want then is a Lakers win, but a Suns loss.
Yes.
Lakers win and a Suns loss would mean the Pels hold on to the 6. Suns would be at 7. Lakers would be at 8.
Boom. Then
if the Kings lose, Golden State gets 9. The Kings are 10. That would be a great day.
That would be the best possible scenario right there.
It took us a while, Dub Nation, but we talked it through and we got it to where we needed to be. No help from Kariemah, by the way.
Zero help, because I'm just like still pissed.
Right. Like, you gotta let it go. It's over. It's done. They're like
Kariemah was ready to talk about little Chris.
But honestly, like, okay, it really does suck that they lost, but there's benefits to them having these days to rest. We've seen, like, when they get a couple of days to rest, they look good.
Yeah.
And while they won't have the whole week off, we know that once playoffs actually start, there's more days in between games.
Yeah, just get in. So get in.
Okay. So let me write this down so I don't forget. Let me write it down. Let me write
Get in and win. Get in and win.
Okay. I'm about to tweet that. All right, Dub Nation. We've talked. No, I'm not gonna put it I'm not gonna put it out on Twitter because they will come back to my tweet and I ain't in the mood for them.
Somebody's gonna be like, well, actually, people are like the worst part of Twitter, but it's okay.
Golden Spaces wish list. All right. We want Pell's loss. Lakers W. Ugh.
Exactly. I feel the same.
We want Suns loss. Wolves W. Kings loss. Blazers W. And we want a Warriors win. We want a Warriors win.
Counting on the youngsters.
And that we believe would be the most advantageous outcome. We're not saying any of these teams are easy. The Warriors are going to, how many wins did the Warriors have last season?
44.
They've already surpassed the amount of wins that they had last year and were not in the play-in. Okay? So the West is just a beast.
It's just better than it was, yeah.
Right. So we're not saying that any of these teams are like easy. Like when we're wishing for one over the other, it's more of like a matchup thing, but none of these are going to be easy.
Right.
None of them are going to be easy. We're not sleeping on any of these teams, but we think in terms of best path to trying to make a deep run, it would be great if the Warriors were not on the same side of the bracket as Denver.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It would be best for them if they avoided a Laker game in the play-in and if they avoided Denver in the first round once they get out of the play-in. Boom. So any scenarios where those two things happen is probably the best path for the Warriors. Not saying that they can't beat the Lakers in the play-in. It just would be, in our opinion, a better matchup if they saw either the Kings or the Suns or both the Kings and the Suns.
Because if the Lakers somehow get 7th, they're seeing Denver in the second round.
Right. If
they
one
win.
If they win and if one of
win,
OKC loses,
they would be right. Either them or the Timberwolves would see Denver in the second round.
Yeah. Or OKC, right?
No.
OKC can't be second.
Would be first. OKC would be 1 and Warriors would be 8.
Gotcha.
So if the Warriors were to beat OKC, they would see Clippers or Mavericks in the second round.
But I don't know which one that's going to be.
I know.
I'm leaning Mavs, but like Kawhi Leonard is just.
Is he going to be? Are they playing him?
That's the question. If he don't play, it's over. It's Mavs.
Right.
But if he plays, I don't know.
If he plays, then it's good to play because we don't know what his condition is because he hasn't played in a minute. But I don't know if they're just trying to give him ample rest for the playoffs.
He might be cooked.
Yeah. We will find out, but like this is a much better Luka than before. Not that Kawhi is still not Kawhi, but it's a better Luka. They have Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, better team too. Yeah, the Clippers got a better team too.
Yeah, that's gonna probably be. I actually think all of the playoff rounds should go like a minimum of 6 games.
Yeah, I could see that.
If whoever sees Denver in the first round is not taking them to 6, I don't think. Unless it's the Warriors. Unless it's the
Damn, you
Warriors.
don't think the Pelicans? What was the Pelicans? Did the Pelicans beat them at all this season?
They might have, but let me check. I just think that's a 5er right there.
Nah.
I don't think Valanciunas got anything for Joker.
Well, I don't see any sweeps. How about that? I don't see any sweeps this time
I think we're getting
not
at
in
a
the first
minimum
round.
all 6
The
games.
Pelicans did beat Denver in November.
Okay.
They lost to them in November as well. Have they played them again? They lost to them in January. And that's it. So they're
So
at
they
1 and
played
2.
3 games. Okay. Well. This is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so so what's your gut? Are the Warriors making the playoffs, Justin?
Of course.
Kariemah?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna put us through it, but they're gonna get in.
What do you think, Nat?
I think they have to make it because they can't have Toronto getting eliminated in the play-in. Like Steph legacy will recover.
Eliminated in the play-in just means a championship next season. We've been here before.
And I really wanted them to get to 8 too, just because it's like.
Then you really control your destiny. Like if you were in the 8, it's like not to say that you're going to throw the 7-8 game, but it's like, okay, we lose this one. All right.
They already did that. They did that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's true. I think they really went for that one though. And
but the reason I wanted that too is because it's like, look, if there was no play-in, the Warriors made the playoffs. They were one of the top 8 teams, you know.
Yeah.
This is really like you're only making the playoffs because of the play-in.
Yeah.
Which is why you've got to seize it right now. We've got to get in there and make some noise. So
that Grizzlies loss and that Bulls loss. Spurs. They come back to bite you. Who else they lose to that they had no business at all?
So many. Well, look, my prediction looks like it ended up being right. Maybe I screwed the team. We'll see.
What was your prediction?
Well, I said that I don't think the Warriors and Lakers are going to see each other in the play-in, even though everyone keeps thinking that matchup's going to happen. I said I don't think it's going to happen, but it's because I think the Lakers are going to move up. And that was just because at the time, to me, the Lakers had the more favorable schedule. I just didn't know that Anthony Davis was going to be out. So based on that, I thought that the Lakers would just move up to the 8 and the Warriors would likely still be in the 9 or 10 spot. But then the Warriors, they were winning. And, you know, you needed some help. But then it was like, okay, maybe the you know, and that was before they played the Lakers in LA again. So, you know, all those things. But that was like last weekend. But the Lakers right now are in 8th. I just didn't think they were going to end up on the same side. It's still possible that they do. But I'm like, we had the series last year. They did the play-in a couple of years ago. You know, I know people would like it if it was Steph versus LeBron, but I think it'll be fun if it's Steph versus KD.
I think Adam Silver wanted to be not Steph versus LeBron because he wanted both.
I mean, I'm sure playoffs. Right. That's what I'm saying. I think he wants both of them in. I mean, ideally, I think he probably wants Kevin Durant in too. I think he wants all the stars. So in your ideal world, the Suns kind of get into that 6th spot. So they're not even doing a play-in. Do you think Adam Silver wants the Suns or the Pelicans? Like, which one do you want? Kevin Durant in the playoffs, or do you want? Right. Like, I think you always want the stars. I'm not saying that the Suns are like a great team to watch. I'm just saying like.
Right. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. But what do you think about Steph? I mean, he tweaked his ankle tonight, so he'll be getting treatment for the next few days. But his shot, he hasn't been like shooting as well. Thoughts on that, Justin?
I think it's something that he'll be able to shake off in the next few days, or he's going to have to. Right. It's also like other teams are playing him a certain way. You know, like the teams that we've seen recently, right? We see Herb Jones. We saw Derek Jones against the Mavs. We see all these guys, you know, they're just hyper focused on him. And he's, you know, chilling, not really chilling, but like, I guess trying to pace himself a little bit for the playoffs, but also still putting his numbers, and he turns it up in the fourth quarter. That's why he's been having these great fourth quarters and kind of first, second, and third quarters. I think he's fine ultimately, but like the ankle thing is interesting. We'll see just how severe that one is. But if he's resting from now
Did it
until
look really
Tuesday,
bad?
it looked like a bad roll.
Yeah.
But he played, so I mean, he could have been on adrenaline, whatever. It did look like a bad roll, but he don't got no choice.
Was
right?
it
But
the
it's
same ankle he injured before?
I feel like he injured both of them, but it was his right ankle. But
Yeah.
yeah, because I remember it rolling to the right. So it was
Yeah.
definitely
No, it was his right. I was
Yeah.
trying to look back at the Bulls one in the lane, and I feel like maybe that was his left or whatever. But in this
But I'm
case,
saying, was it
the
same
fact that
ankle
he
had
stayed,
just did and was out for? Is it the same ankle?
well, that's what I think it isn't. But what I'm saying is that the fact that he stayed on the last one, he went and sat down and he really tried and was like, nah, this one is bad. So the fact that he kind of just stayed with it and was like, all right, to me seems like it may not be at the level as the other one, that he can kind of get this
Well, he's
rest
going to be
and be
getting lots
okay.
of treatment over the next
Yeah.
few days. It was today, what we said, so Friday, it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and all day Tuesday. He'll be getting treatment. And Steph has played on, like, he's done it before,
Yeah.
so he doesn't have to do it. We know he's not playing, so.
Yeah. It was just one of those things like, oh.
I'm just curious about Kuminga, because the whole he's in a lot of pain kind of report was disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's 21. You can be in a lot of pain one day and then not feel it at all the next day.
Right. I mean, I think with the tailbone, it's really like a pain tolerance thing, right?
Yeah, it's probably like some type of contusion, like some type of bruise where it just
Right.
like hurts to the touch, or it may hurt to move the muscle a little bit, and then over time it'll subside. They got until Tuesday, so that's two days and some change, 3 days.
Well, plus he was already, like, he didn't play tonight.
Right. Oh, you're right. So he didn't play tonight, so he really got like 4 days of rest on it, get some treatment, whatever. Gary, I'm a little bit like, what's up with that calf, brother? So
do you feel comfortable with them leaning? So, I mean, if Gary isn't ready to go, do you think he's just shortening the rotation? Is he going to play Moody? Is he going Kevon Looney? Will it depend on the matchup?
I think he has to go Moses, because I think they're pretty committed to Trace and Draymond at the 5. And pretty much Kuminga and Wiggins are the only other guys that play the 4. So you need guys that's going to play the 2 and the 3. Like, he's definitely going to shorten the rotation, but I think Moses gets in there at some point. Yeah. But if they go out there and Wiggins is lights out and Clay's lights out, he might just roll with them for like 38. So it could get shortened depending on how well those two guys are playing. But I do think Moses gets at least one rotation early in the game, especially considering like the performance that he put together tonight with his energy, his defense, and he's been kind of doing it all season. So
really hoping that the young guys can somehow use the energy of Chase to help them win this final game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pods is obviously going to be running things.
Yep. Pods, Moses, and Trace. Get it done.
Go.
Santos,
Yeah.
Lester Quinones, get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless they're gonna be out there acting up, but it'll be
That'll be a
fine.
short rotation though for most of the night.
Yeah, we'll get some Usman Garuba in there. Maybe Dario plays his last game as an NBA player.
Yeah, Dario.
Bruno
I'm joking.
probably see some minutes.
I'm joking. I don't know if it'll be his last game as an NBA player, but it could be.
As a Warrior.
It could be out the league. He could be out the league. I'm sorry. No, let me stop. No, he might get signed by somebody, but like, yeah, definitely as a Warrior. I think this is his last one. So yeah, let him get some burn.
Yeah, I mean, I just have to believe Adam Silver really wants Stephen Curry in the playoffs. If he doesn't, you're a bad commissioner. So make it happen. Put in the call.
Yeah. Just make sure it's not Scott Foster because him and CP3.
We haven't seen Scott Foster since that flare
That's
up.
true.
We have not seen him. So
yeah.
I'm sure there was a call made.
Chris Paul got power.
Well, I think with what had come out that Chris said that Scott Foster had said something about or to his son, like right there, if you have all that out there, it's just kind of like, okay, we're just not going to put you on any Warrior games from here on out. Playoffs it's a different story, but for right now, we're just going to, let this die out a little bit. It's a little too fresh having you back.
The pro Golden State reps. I think Scott Foster might be the only one who was like kind of pro Golden State, but I think
like their record actually isn't that like awful with him, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
like, even though a lot of people,
but it's Chris specifically that
I do think a lot of those wins with Scott Foster reffing were against the Chris Paul Rockets. So was it he liked the Warriors or he was just hating on Chris Paul? Who knows? But
yeah, well. It doesn't matter who we get because they don't go for us anyway.
That's true. So I'm like, there's no refs that you can think of that's like,
yeah,
we want that ref. Not Marat Kogut, not Scott Foster, not who the other guys?
Not the Gucci man. Oh, not Ed Malloy.
Not Mark Davis.
Not the global.
Yep.
The Global brothers.
Something global, yeah. All these refs are just on
something else. Well, because even in this game alone, the way that they guarded Curry, he's being held the entire time.
Yeah.
You see him trying to get off, and then they call that foul when he got the clean swipe off of Alvarado. Like, really? Because Alvarado made this whole big gesture.
He's the worst officiated superstar in NBA history. We already know that.
History. So the fact that, like you said, he's just biding his time because how they're guarding him, just on him constantly. So come fourth quarter, he just feels like, okay, I've got enough energy to try to get us over the line. So we'll see.
Right. Well, we will know on Sunday at the very end because all the games are at the same time. I really hate that the NBA does that. And they do that intentionally. There's no games on Saturday.
Do it intentionally.
That's why people had to have back-to-backs tonight. Because there's no games on Saturday.
Well, I mean, it's strategic. It's strategic, so teams know whether they don't know.
Right.
if they need to play or not.
All the
Yeah.
East games are at the same time, and all
Mhm.
the West games are at the same time. It's always so funny to me each year.
Yeah.
But you know, there's always someone who's like dedicated from the team watching and seeing like what's happening in games.
Yeah.
Yep. Checking in.
So we have told you guys, Dub Nation, what we need to root for. When this drops, drop a comment and let us know if you agree, think it's a different path, if you've given up, if you still have hope. But you should still have hope.
Always. We got number 30 on our team.
Gotta
I
believe.
feel like a lot of people are not believing in him the way that they need to anymore. But and Steph, we trust, baby.
Yep.
Steph
can be out there in a wheelchair.
And I'll still believe
we're gonna still get it done. We're gonna still get it done.
For sure. I mean, I just feel like the team has demonstrated they're a better team now than they were at the beginning of the season.
Right.
You're right.
I feel like they demonstrated that they are the team that we thought they could have been, right? Like, which is why I was never like, yes, there's things to improve about the team, but that's always why I was just like, this is not a bad team. Like, I don't care what y'all tell me, it's not a bad team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they would have been playing these guys from the beginning of the season, they'd be in the thick of it right now.
Mm-hmm. You know, Draymond didn't miss 26 games.
Right. So it's like, it sucks. Took you a little bit too long to get to this point. Many of us told you to get there. We were right. So it sucks, but
we're here now.
They made the run at the end of the season that they needed to. They won a lot of games. Just Steph had an injury at an unfortunate time, and the West is tricky this season, So here we are. They will need to win 2 games to make the playoffs. And we believe that they can do it.
We do.
And if they do it, they should.
When they do it, proceed.
They are likely to be in an advantageous bracket position.
Relative to other options.
Right. Right. So we need, by the way, we need Minnesota to win. We need OKC to win. I mean, I know we should not look ahead. So we will talk about these things, obviously, as they continue to play out. But I'm just curious, like, if the Warriors are in the 8 spot, who do you like better as a matchup, OKC or the Wolves? Because Cat is back. I don't know if that mattered to you before anyway. And I don't know. I don't think he looked that great tonight. But
I think this is tough because I do think Shea is just better than Ant. Like, Shea's the more dangerous opposing star than Ant, but Minnesota has more size and experience. And, it's just like you choose the team that tries to small ball you. It's probably not going to small ball you better than the other team, but they have Shea and they're young. So they could be susceptible to just growing pains like all other young teams. Like, you don't skip steps. They're going to lose at some point in the playoffs. They're not going to just go to the finals. They might not even make it to the conference finals. I think they are going to get hit in the mouth like every young team does. And whether they lose in the first round or not, who knows? But they're susceptible to losing to experience, whereas Minnesota might not be even though they are a little bit lower IQ team. They've shown in the past they can shoot themselves in the foot. So if I had to choose,
they have demonstrated though a higher IQ, like they've kind of grown, like them and their
Minnesota.
coach. Yeah,
for sure. So yeah, they're a more veteran team, but I do think the Warriors have the advantage of just having Steph and the Splash Bros. Like, it's kind of like, I guess, the opposite of how Minnesota wants to play. So you can kind of zig when they zag and just see if your style of play can win out over theirs. But with OKC, they're just younger. So I think you can just outsmart them. But I would pick OKC just for that reason right there. I think they can get under Chet's skin a little bit, force him into some young player mistakes. Jalen Williams, maybe not. He just seemed like he's just kind of like he's just there. Like he's arrived. But Chet, I think, can be
Dort hitting all them threes.
Right. I don't think Dort's hit all those threes. I think Josh Giddey got some voodoo on them on that team. You know, they're not going nowhere because he's still there. So yeah, I would pick OKC. I would pick OKC.
Same.
You just got to make sure Wiggins is like on point. Gary's on point. All of your perimeter guys need to be on point because Shea and Jalen and J-Dub will give you 30 apiece, 35 apiece if you're not on point.
They may not have Gary. I mean, I hope they do, but they may not. Are you comfortable with Moody taking that challenge?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And if nothing else, he gets experience. Or he shows them like this is what you're working with going into the summer. You can keep me, you can move me, whatever. You know, but I trust Moses. I think he can guard. He can play in the team defense concept, right? He might not be Wiggins level athlete or Gary level athlete, but he's long. He has good anticipation and all that type of stuff. So I trust him. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, all right. You know, let's go Dubs. We're going to stop there because we don't want to prematurely be previewing things. They have to win 2 games. They need to win 2 play-in games. We wanted them to have the shot to play 2 play-in games. So, you know, 7 or 8 would have been the better spot, obviously. But we want them, you know, to win 2 play-in games. That's what they got to do. That's what they got to do. And 2 play-in games gets them the 8th spot. So let's go Dubs. Kariemah, any closing final words from you before we wrap?
Let's all collectively take a deep, deep breath and just exude positive energy on the team so that we play our very best in these matchups going
But
forward.
you was the one who came on here mad. Me and Justin was chill.
Still a little mad, but I'm trying to get over this, Nat. It's going to take me a minute, but I'll be better next time
I got positive energy. I told y'all why this happened.
It was written.
It's that voodoo.
People like, it's written we're 10. I said, no, it's written we're 8, baby. We're 8 when it matters.
We 8 when it matters. Positive energy. You guys heard the voice.
All right, y'all. So with that, appreciate you tuning in with us. I know it was a lot of us sort of like breaking down seating and stuff like that. So I hope y'all didn't mind, a little bit different. But I mean, I don't know. Did y'all really expect us to break down this game? It's like at this point, what does it matter? Their next
too many turnovers, too many threes from the other team.
Yeah, I mean, Utah's their next game. No one's gonna be playing, like not the main guys. Game slightly matters, but not really. They're unlikely. They could, but unlikely in the postseason to see the Pelicans if they do make it. So it's just like, is what it is, you know? They lost. But like I said, I think there's a reason they lost. So, you know, that's that. So we appreciate you tuning in with us. Stay hopeful, guys. Stay hopeful, Dub Nation. Make sure, though, you are following us at Golden Spaces Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Also, make sure you follow 95.7 The Game's YouTube channel and subscribe to it. So that way you'll be notified every time we drop a new episode. Follow the pod. We're available on all, you know, podcast networks. Leave us a review, a positive one. Give us a 5-star rating. We appreciate that. And tell a friend, share, let them know. Come on, keep the energy going, right? Vibe check. Where you at? Where you at, people?
Is that an 8?
Ooh, I'm at an 8 too, Justin.
I guess I gotta raise me up to an 8 then, because I
Mm.
sure was slipping. So
Okay.
all right.
Let's see, we 8's over here. 8 is the number. It's the number. Okay. So, all right, guys. Until next time, take care.
Peace.